This is the first question. A chain of mass m and length L is resting on table such that maximum, this is a maximum, okay, maximum L by 3 length can hang vertically. Okay. Find the work done by friction on chain. Find the work done on friction on chain to leave the table completely. So what actually we have is we have a table like this, okay, and we have a chain like this. So if complete length of the chain is L, so this length is 12 by 3 and the maximum length that can hang from the table is L by 3. So now you have to find out that find the work done by the friction on chain so that it leaves the table completely. Okay, so just think about the question and try to solve it if you can solve it, and the options are also given to you. So try to calculate this. This is a good question. It's a standard question you would have seen so many times. Okay, in every book you will find a question like that. So I expect you people to solve this. Yes, anyone who has got the answer? See, in this, first you have to calculate the coefficient of friction value. Okay, you have to first calculate the coefficient of friction and then only you can proceed for this question. And how can you calculate the coefficient of friction? So you just try to calculate that the friction on the part, suppose there is a friction here. So for this part, which is shaded in the blue color, it will have a friction on this side. Okay, and friction on this I can write as mu into n. I can write friction value as mu into n. Now what will be the n value here for this complete mass? The n value will be 2 mg by 3. Okay, now when I'm writing this 2 mg by 3, why this 2 by 3 is coming? Because the length is in that ratio. So if I'm writing 2 mg by 3 for the mass, for this mass, so what I'm considering here, that the mass is uniformly distributed. So we have to assume, okay, we have to assume that mass is distributed uniformly. Then only I can write it like this. Okay, now if this is a friction in this direction, so this friction is countered by what? This friction, if you see, it will be countered by the mass of this red color chain. Okay, so this is having mass mg by 3. Okay, so actually this friction force will be countered by this mass mg by 3. So now what we have to do, we have to equate it. So mu 2 mg by 3 is equals to mg by 3. This implies mu value I have got as 1 by 2. So this is the friction coefficient of friction. Now just visualize that the friction value I have written over here as 2 mu mg by 3. So can I say that friction here is a function of mass? Can I say it like that? Yes. So as this mass moves down, okay, as this mass moves down, so what happens, this friction force also reduces. Why? Because mass gets reduced, and so the friction force will also get reduced. So actually this frictional force is depending upon mass, and mass is depending upon the length which is on the table. So I can write the equation now. Okay, I can write the equation or for this friction force as mu mg x by L. Just try to understand this, how I have written this x by L. Assuming x part of length is still on table. Okay. So assuming that, I can write it like that. So suppose if the 2 by 3rd part of the length was there, so x value, so this x by L value will be 2L by 3. If 1 by 3 L by 3 value is there, so it will be L by 3. So it is like that. So now we have a friction value written as mu mg x by L. Okay. Now I have to find out the work done. Okay. I have to find out the work done by the friction force. So work done by frictional force. Work done by the frictional force. So what it will be? Work done will be equal to F dot dx, and I will integrate this. From where to where I have to integrate this? From 0 to 2L by 3. I will integrate this. Now you people integrate and tell me the result. Now you people have to integrate it and tell me the result. Yes, anyone who has got the result? Anyone who has got the result? Okay, MGL by 9. Option A, correct. Option A will be correct answer. So I got only 2 answers from Harshada and Tarun. Anyone else who has got the answer? Okay, Chanakya, A. Anyone else? Okay, only 3 people are solving it. Fine. So you have to only integrate this. Okay. So I guess you people are knowing how to integrate this function. Okay. You integrate and you'll get the value. Okay. So anybody is having doubt in this? Anyone who is having doubt in this question? Okay. So this is your second question. This is your second question. Try to read the question and draw the physical situation for this and solve this question. Yes, any answer? Anyone who has got the answer for this? Okay. See, I'll just explain this question, what it is saying. It says that upper 1/4 of total length of wedge is smooth and lower 3/4 of is rough. So that means I have a wedge. Okay. I have a wedge like this. And in this wedge, 1/4, the top 1/4 portion is smooth. Okay. And this portion is rough. So this portion is rough and this one is smooth. So lengthwise this is 1/4 and lengthwise this is 3/4. Now it is saying a particle released from rest and its velocity becomes zero at lower point. So if I release a particle here from point A, so as it reaches point B, its velocity becomes 0. Then find mu of the plane in terms of theta. Okay, mu of the plane in terms of theta. So actually theta is also not given to me, and mu we have to calculate in terms of theta. So let us assume that this inclined is theta angle. And what I can say actually is that mu A is equals to VA. VA is equals to VB. The velocity is same. And if the velocity is same, so what is the change in kinetic energy? If the velocity is same at A and B, because at A I am releasing the particle, so initial velocity is 0. At B, finally the particle comes to rest, so again its velocity is 0. So I can say that the velocity at point A and velocity at point B is 0, same. And hence I can also say the change in kinetic energy is 0. Okay, when I see the particle from A to B. Now, so work done, okay, total work done, I can write as change in kinetic energy. That means whatever work has been done, either due to potential energy or due to kinetic energy or due to friction, the summation of all the work must be equal to 0. Why? Because kinetic energy is 0 here. So we have to start now with this. Okay. Now, if you see the particle at A, which energy it is having? If you see a particle at A, which energy it is having? Yes, any reply? At A, which kind of energy this particle is having? Okay, I got few answers. Potential energy. I got two answers, potential energy. And at B, what will happen? This potential energy will be exhausted. Okay, at point A, we are having potential energy, and as it reaches point B, this potential energy will be exhausted. So now my question is that at point A, this particle is having potential energy. At point B, due to what this potential energy will be exhausted? Which force or which agent is responsible so that its energy becomes 0? Friction, correct. So that means total friction, correct. So total potential energy. So total potential energy at A will be equal to, okay, work done by friction. This is what we can write now. Understood? Now, what will be the total potential energy if I'm assuming this total length? Okay, I'm assuming that total length is L. If this total length is L, what will be the total potential energy? What will be the total potential energy? Yes, what will be the total potential energy? mgl sine theta. I got the answer from Tarun. Good, correct. Arshada also. mgl sine theta. Good, correct. So total potential energy at point A will be mgl sine theta. Okay, and work done by friction will be what? Mu into n into length. What is the length covered? Is it covering total L length? No, it is traveling only 3L by 4. And what is n value? A particle moving on the inclined. What is the n value we write? Mg by mg into cos theta. So put the value of n here. So mgl sine theta is equals to mu 3L by 4 mg cos theta. Okay, so mgl gets cancelled. I have to calculate the value of mu, so I'm keeping the mu there itself, and I'll get 4 tan theta by 3. Okay, I had got one answer. Okay, option A. Okay, which is wrong. Okay, so it should be 4 tan theta by 3. So did you understand this? Anybody is having doubt in this question, please ask. Anybody is having doubt in this question, ask. Okay, so if you're not having any doubt, I'm moving on to the next question. This is the next question you have. Okay, try to solve this question. Try to solve this question. Read the question properly. Mark the important things that is given to you in the question. Okay, this is a very good question. Not tough, but little bit. One point you have to notice in this question, and then you can solve it. Okay, I'll explain you this question and I'll give you a hint. Okay. Now in this question, it is saying a block released from point P. Okay. There is a curved part and curved part. This complete part is curved from P to A. AB is a smooth part. AB is a smooth part. And BC is rough. This BC is rough part. Then find total distance traveled by particle on horizontal surface before coming to rest. Now in this one thing, the figure is, I could not draw it properly, but what you have to assume that total A, B, C, this is a total horizontal path. This is complete horizontal. Okay, this is a total horizontal path. Okay, by the particle on a horizontal surface before coming to rest. I have got one answer D, 41. One answer I have got 41. Anyone else who has got 41? Anyone else who has got 41? Anyone who has got 40? Yeah, I got one. 40. Okay. Anyone else? Anyone else with 40 and 41? Okay. Okay, I got two answers. One is D, one is B. 40 and 41. Okay, let's see. So how actually we are going to do this? Now clearly I can see that at P point, the particle is having a potential energy, correct? Okay, okay, now see, I've got 3, 4 answers. Few are saying, one is saying D and remaining 2, 3 people are saying B. Now see, see, at P point, we have potential energy, okay, that is mgh, and at the C point, till C point, I have only 2 meter of length where there is friction, and the remaining AB part is smooth and that curved path is smooth. That is what is given in the question. So whatever dissipation of energy will happen, it will happen only for the part BC. It will only happen to the part BC. So from P to A and from A to B, there is no dissipation of energy. There is no dissipation of energy. What will happen? Potential energy will get reduced and that potential energy gets converted into kinetic energy. And from B to C, what will happen? This dissipation of energy will take place because of friction. So now I have to find out the length. So what I can do? mgh, which is a potential energy at P, will be equal to mu mg into, I am assuming, total distance which it has to move on. Okay. So what I can do? mg gets cancelled. H value is 4. Mu value is 0.1 and D. So I can say that D is 40 meter. D is 40 meter. So all those who have got D as 40, now you tell me that this 40 meter, it has to travel on horizontal surface or it has to travel only on the rough surface. What my question is that this D has to be on AB plus BC, or it is only you have calculated for BC. Which one you have done? First one or second one? All those who have given me the answer B. All those who have given me the answer B. Yes, this 40 meter should be on AB plus BC or it is BC. You have calculated for BC. So this 40 meter, this dissipation of energy will take place only for the 40 meter. Okay. Now this question is not up to this point only. There is a problem with this question now. The total length it is having, the total length is 2 meters only. And the distance it has to travel is 40 meter. So now what we have to do? For that, they have given a point here. Perfect, any collision, take perfect elastic collision. So what will happen? This block, when it hits this surface, okay, what will happen to this? There will be a collision. And when there is a collision, what will happen now? It will move again like this. Okay. One person has changed his answer. Okay, listen. So this particle will move up now because there is a perfect elastic collision. So whatever energy it will be having, it will move on to the surface. So now just you see here, I'm drawing the diagram again. I'm drawing the diagram again. So for one cycle, if you see, this is 1 meter, this is 2 meter, this is 2 meter, this is 1 meter. So what happens when the particle is moving from this point to this point and again this point? So how much distance it is traveling on rough surface? On a rough surface, how much distance it is traveling in one cycle from here to here? How much distance it is traveling on rough surface? Yes, if this is 2, this is 1. How much distance it is traveling on rough surface? 4. Very good. How much distance on horizontal? How much distance on horizontal in one cycle? How much distance on horizontal? 6. Very good. So it is traveling on rough surface 4, and on horizontal it is traveling on like 6. So for after 10 cycle, after 9 cycle, if we take after 9 cycle, this rough will become how much? 36, and this horizontal will become how much? 54. Okay, so I'm again modifying this diagram after 9 cycle. Okay, see here. So 9 cycles have been completed and our block is here. Now again see what will happen. This block after 9th cycle, for 10th cycle, for 10th cycle, see, it is moving here. How much is this distance? 1 meter. Then it is moving here and again it is moving here. Okay, so this is 2 meter, 2 meter. So how much it has moved on rough after 9 cycle? Yes, after 9 cycle, in 10th cycle, has it completed 40 here only? Yes or no? It has completed 40 here only. So it will not have any energy to complete this cycle. So 10th cycle will not be completed. It will be half only. But how much distance it has traveled? It has traveled 1 on smooth surface and 4 on rough surface. Okay. So for rough surface, I have to add 1. Okay. For horizontal surface, it has to be 1 on smooth, 4 on rough. So total it becomes how much? 59. So 59 is the correct answer for us. Yes. Anybody is having doubt in this question now, just let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat if anybody is having doubt in this. Or shall I explain it again? Okay. One person wants again. Okay. Okay. See here. Okay. Who has asked for again? Just whenever you miss a point, you tell me. Okay. I'll not start from again. Like starting, I'll start from this point. Okay. After this. After this, I will start it. So D you have calculated. So actually this particle will lose all of its energy. Okay. It will lose all of its energy once it has traveled 40 meter on rough surface. Mind, just remember this. So 40 meter what you have calculated, it is on the rough surface. But the question is asking where? On horizontal surface. See here. It is asking on horizontal surface. Fine. So if it is asking on the horizontal surface, okay, and you have calculated only for the rough surface. Now let's try to see. Okay, now see here. This was the case with us. This is A, this is B, and this is C. So this is 2 meters given to me, and this is 1 meter given to me. Now, you tell me how much it has to travel. See, it is moving from here like this, and again it is moving like this. Okay. So how much distance it has moved totally? 6 meters. It has moved 6 meter on horizontal. That is why we have marked 6. This is the only rough region. So 2 while going and 2 while returning. So 4 on horizontal surface, rough surface. So in a cycle, so one cycle I am taking, one cycle is having how much rough surface? 4 meter. Smooth surface, it is 2 meter. Total horizontal, how much it is? Total horizontal. Because horizontal is smooth plus rough, so it is 6 meters. Okay, forget about this point. Try to understand like this. Okay. Now, after 9 cycle, what will happen? 9 cycle completed. 9 cycle completed. So what will happen after 9 cycle? Rough will become 36. Okay. Smooth will become how much? 18. And total horizontal will become how much? Yes, 54 meters. They all are in meters. Now in 10th cycle, how much will happen? How much it will go? Why I'm taking 10th cycle? Why? Because for complete dissipation of energy, this rough has to be equal to 40. Then only the energy will be dissipated. Okay. Then only the energy will be dissipated. So this rough is still 36. So in 10th cycle, in 10th cycle, now what will happen? See, after 10th cycle, what will happen here? I am drawing this figure here. So in 10th cycle, the particle is here. So it is moving 1 meter. Okay. Then from rough, it will move here. Okay. 2 meters. And then again it will move here. Okay. Now see here. Who has asked this question? Just see here. How much extra it is traveling on smooth surface? 1 meter. Okay. So this becomes how much? 19. How much extra it is moving on rough surface? So rough surface is how much? 2 meter here, 2 meter here, 4 meter extra. So this becomes 40. Okay. Now, as soon as it becomes 40 here, where it is becoming 40? See here. Here only it gets, its energy is over. So if its energy gets over here only, so it is not having any energy. This particle here is not having energy, any energy to move this distance. This distance it will not be able to move. Okay. So this will be 59 total. It will move on the horizontal surface. Do you understand this now? Yes. Okay. So this is the next question you have. Try to solve this question. Solve this question. Two blocks are there. They both are having same mass, arranged in given position with the help of a massless rod. massless rod they have there, massless rod. Then find velocity given to lower block, so that system just becomes horizontal. So if the system becomes horizontal, so the arrangement would look somewhat like this. The arrangement would look somewhat like this. Okay. This is, both are having mass m and the length is L of both the rods. This is a very easy question. Okay. You don't have to do very much in this. I got one answer. B. I have option B. Okay. I have one answer B. Anyone else who has got B? Okay. One more answer I have C. Anyone else? Only two answers I got. Anyone else? Do it fast, all those who are doing. Okay, one more answer I got as C. Okay, let us see what will be the answer here. Now, in this question, suppose I assume I have to find the velocity given to the lower block. Okay, so I have to find out what velocity I have to give here. U. Okay. Now you tell me, suppose if I am giving this block, I am giving this lower block U velocity. Okay, what velocity this will have at that point? My question is, if I am giving U velocity to the lower block, what will be the velocity of the upper block? All those who have solved the question, if the velocity of lower is V, U, what will be the velocity of upper block? I got one answer, V and U by 2. See here, if this is a rod, okay, so I can assume this complete body as a rigid body, and this body is rotating about this point. So if this is U, so this has to be U by 2, not V or any other velocity. Its value must be U by 2. And how you can find out? You can just equate omega 1 or lower and omega 2. Okay, omega 1 is equals to omega 2. If you do, you will get the value here. So why, but the omega will be same. Omega for both of them will be same. Angular velocities will be same, but the linear velocities will be less. And similarly, the velocity of this point, any particle, if I keep a mass here, its velocity will be 0. Okay. Understood this? Okay. So if I'm giving U velocity here, so this becomes U by 2. Now, can I say for this question that total energy in horizontal position will be equal to total energy in vertical position? Okay. Now in horizontal position, okay, first let us write in the vertical position, in this position. Okay, in this position I'm trying to write the velocity, this energy first. So you tell me first. I'll try, we'll be writing for the lower mass, kinetic and potential both for the lower mass. Yes, tell me, I have assumed this as my reference, this height as my reference, this is my reference. So potential energy of the lower block, yes, I need the answers in the chat. Potential energy for the lower block, what shall I write? All those who have got the option A, potential energy of the lower block, 0. Kinetic energy for the lower block, half mu square, okay, plus potential energy of the upper block, mgl. Kinetic energy of the upper block, half mu by 2 square, so u square by 4. Okay, so this is the initial, this vertical position. In vertical position, what is the kinetic energy? Kinetic energy in this situation, kinetic energy in this situation, kinetic energy in this situation, yes, for both the blocks. Okay, don't give me the answer, I'm asking what, you tell me that first. A option is correct, don't worry. A option is correct. All those who have got A option, I want you people to answer it here. Yes, what is the kinetic energy for this block and for this block? 0 plus 0. What will be the potential energy? mg2l, okay, mg2l, okay, into 2. Why into 2? Because I'm writing for the two blocks. So now in this case, I know L value is given to me, M value is given to me, G value is given to me, only U is unknown. You calculate for U and you'll get the option A. Okay, so for this question, option A is correct. Understood? This is an easy question. Okay, you just see this question here. Okay, yeah. See this question. In this question, it is saying a system is arranged as shown in figure, and a spring is at natural length. If ring of mass 1 kg is released from position B, then find a velocity at A. I'll explain you this question with language. It is little bit not clear. I'll explain you this question. See here. What is given to us is actually we have this support. Okay. Now from this point, okay, from this point P, we have a spring connected with a ring like this. Okay, with the ring it is connected like this. Now in this position, the spring is in its natural length. Okay, the spring is in its natural length. The spring is in its natural length. Now when you release the ring at this, when you release the ring, okay, so ring is released. Ring is released. So what will happen? This complete system will fall. And when it is in this situation, okay, when it is in this situation where this length is given as 1 meter, find the velocity of the ring. Velocity of the ring. Find the velocity of the ring at this point. This is what is asked in this question. If the question is still not clear, let me know. If the question is still not clear, let me know. Okay, so you solve this question now. You have to just see the energy. Okay, you have to just see the energy and you can solve this question then. Okay, now the angle is also given. This 37 is the angle given to me. This 37 angle is given to me between them. Now see here, what actually we have to do, that in this, when it is at B, okay, when it is at B, so spring is in its natural length. So potential energy of the spring is not there. Okay, potential energy of the spring is not there. It is only having, this ring is having a potential energy. At this point B, when it is in a natural length, the spring is not having any potential energy. Only ring is having a potential energy. But kinetic energy is 0 for both of them. Okay. Now, when it falls down, what happens? The ring will gain potential energy. It will gain kinetic energy, and the spring will gain the potential energy. Now you try to solve it like that. You have to just equate the energies in the initial and final states. I'll just give you some hint and then I will leave this question. You have to solve this. You do one thing, you can calculate this length. Suppose this length I'm assuming as L dash, this height, this A to B I'm assuming as H. Okay. Now I can calculate tan 37. So tan 37 will give me H by L. So H by 1, this is L. Okay. And tan 37 is what? 3 by 4. Okay. 3 by 4. So H value I have got as 3 by 4. Okay. So the height this mass M, the ring of mass M falls is 3 by 4. So if you have to write down the potential energy of this ring, so it will be mgh. Okay. Now cos 37 will give me this length L dash. So how can I write that? Base upon hypotenuse. So base is 1 meter and hypotenuse is L dash. So L dash becomes 5 by 4. Okay, 5 by 4. So initially the length of the spring is 5 by 4 and finally the compressed state is L. Okay, so the spring actually at point A is in compressed state and at B it is in the normal state. So the compression will be, what will be the actual compression? 5 by 4 minus 1. So this will be the compression in the spring. And if you have to find out the potential energy, so you can use half kx square. And then you can equate the energies at point A and B, you can calculate the value. Okay. So I'm leaving this question. Anybody who has solved this question now? The correct answer is 5. For this, the correct answer is 5. You solve, you will get the value 5. We'll move on to the next question. Check out this question. Try to solve this question. Try to solve this question. This question says a block is arranged at a given position where a spring is at natural length. So this means this position is in natural length. Find maximum velocity at equilibrium. Find maximum velocity at equilibrium. So if you see this question, okay, so what we have is, suppose this is the natural length of the spring. I put a mass on it, so this will be the position, and this mass is actually moving up and down. So right now, what is the situation given to me is this, okay? So actually the equilibrium position is this, and the natural length of the spring is here. So there has to be a deflection in the spring by X amount. There has to be a deflection in the spring by X amount. So the given figure is here. Okay. Now that means this mass 5 kg will move further down. This mass 5 kg is going to move further down. Now how can I calculate that X value? Yes. How can I calculate that? So I can write Kx must be equal to mg. And from here X value if I calculate, so it will be 50 by 100, 50 by 100. So this is 1 by 2. So the deflection, this X value is how much? How much is this X value? 1 by 2. Okay, 1 by 2 meters. So this is X value now. Now in this case, if you see in this case, at this position, at this position, when the mass moves further down, so there has to be a potential there, the potential energy in the spring, okay? The potential energy in the spring will be 0 at this state. Why? Because it is in natural length. So there will be no potential energy stored right now in the spring. But there will be potential energy stored in the mass. And what will be that? mgx. Okay. So this is initial potential energy. This will be the initial potential energy. Okay. Now when it moves down, when this moves down, okay. So in this case, you will have potential energy in spring as half kx square. Okay. And you will have kinetic energy with the particle as half mv square. So this is the energy finally. Do you have any other energy? Will you have any other energy? Yes. See, if you think that what about the kinetic energy initially, okay, what if you think that what is the kinetic energy initially, so the block is not having any velocity here, okay, so when it is released it is moving down, so it is like that. So initially the kinetic energy you have to assume as 0 for the block, okay, and then you can equate this with these two and then you will get the value. Okay, the kinetic energy initially will be 0 here. Okay, so we'll do one last question and then we'll wrap it up. This is the last question, just try to do it. This is the last question. So in this, what it is saying that there is a block of mass 2 kg. There is a block of mass 2 kg which is kept at origin at t is equals to 0 and having a velocity. It is having a velocity 4 root 5. It is having a velocity 4 root 5 meters per second. In positive x-axis, the force acting on it is conservative and its potential energy is defined as. So we have the equation of potential energy. So actually I'm writing this with V and energy capital U. So I have minus x cube plus 6x square plus 15 in SI unit joules. Its velocity when its acceleration is minimum. So its velocity we have to find out when acceleration is minimum. So this is what we have to do. So we know that F is equals to minus du by dx. Okay. F is equals to minus du by dx. So if I differentiate this function, so what I'm going to get? Minus, so I'll be having this as minus 3 x square, okay, plus 12x, okay. Now minus minus becomes plus, so force value will become 3x square minus 12x. Mass is given to me as 2, mass is 2 kg. So if I divide this complete equation, I'll get acceleration that becomes 3 by 2x square minus 6x. So this is the acceleration value we have. So we have to calculate actually velocity when the acceleration is minimum. And I can find out that the acceleration is a function of x. So do just differentiate this. So differentiate this acceleration with respect to x. So in that case, what you will get? You will get 3x minus 6. And if I differentiate once more, okay, double differentiation, I am getting what? Positive. So if double differentiation is positive, so acceleration will become minimum. So now I can equate the single differentiated value as 0 and I'll calculate x as 2. So that means at x is equals to 2, I can write here now from here. At x is equals to 2, actually my acceleration is minimum. At x is equals to 2, acceleration value is minimum. From here I can say. Now what is actually this acceleration value we have got? Because we have to calculate velocity. So from velocity we have to calculate, from acceleration we have to calculate velocity. So 2x square minus 6x. Now what is acceleration? I can write in terms of velocity. So it will be written as v dv by dx. Okay. Now v dv I can write as 3 by 2 x square minus 6x into dx. Now integrate this. Okay. Now integrate this. And integration limits, what you will put? This velocity. Velocity, what is the initial velocity given to me? This. Initial velocity is 4 root 5. 4 root 5. And that velocity that we are going to find out is v. What is the displacement? Displacement is from 0 and where? 2. Okay. So just differentiate this thing, you'll get the value. Just differentiate this thing. Okay. And you will get the value for v. So with this question, we are wrapping up this. Anybody is having doubt in this question? Anyone who is having doubt in this question, let me know. Okay, with this we'll wrap it up.